Hello, welcome. Happy Monday. As you can see, I am missing my co-host. When she comes here, well, I'll just have to give her a lot of trouble for not coming on. I don't know where she is. She texted me a few minutes ago. I'm going to be late tonight. It's okay. It happens. Anyway, happy Monday from wherever it is that you're tuning in from. Let's go ahead and take a breath, a Monday breath. Let's breathe in everything that we have going on, and let's breathe it all out. Keep breathing. Breathing is very healthy. Many times we forget to take those cleansing breaths, especially in all of the chaos that we're surrounded in right now. I've made it a practice this morning and every morning to not get out of bed unless I have listed every possible thing I can be grateful for. And it sounds a little like this. I am grateful for my bed. I am grateful that I have a bed. I'm grateful that I have a mattress. There are so many people throughout the world and throughout the globe that do not have mattresses and they don't have pillows and blankets. There are so many of our fellow humans who are sleeping outside tonight. And if you can imagine that, it's cold. And what affects one of us affects all of us because we are a collective species. I know that due to all of the chaos of our earth right now, many of us have a difficult time extending our care and our compassion towards fellow humans. And the reason is because we're all a little bit cranky right now. We're slightly irritable. Our schedules are bogged down with a lot of extra work. Our work environments may not be in alignment with our soul's message, mission. We know that we have a movement inside of us. We know that we are not meant to wake up, pay bills, work, and do it all over again the next day. We know that that is not how we are meant to be living. And because of that, the humanness, the human species inside of us tends to get irritated and frustrated. And when that happens, we don't want to care about our neighbors. We see the guy on the side of the road and part of us is like, maybe he has it easier than we do. A lot of us are experiencing this right now. So I want you to know that you are not alone. We are all in this together. What I have been practicing, which I also found is not as easy as I thought it was, and I want you to pay attention to this as well. When you are walking or interacting with anyone, whether it be your neighbors, your colleagues at work, the Starbucks barista, where you get your groceries, I want you to make sure I want you to consider making eye contact, feeling a moment of gratitude when you look at them, finding something that you find beautiful in their face, even just listening to their voice and genuinely smiling and allowing yourself a moment to take a step out of time. Because what's happening is, well, we don't have time to say hello to this person. We're very busy. Oh, hello, nice to meet you. I find myself, hi, how are you? I'm not looking, I'm not connecting. So that's just something small to consider in your week. And I have made a practice of actually stopping, taking a breath, looking at someone in their eyes, giving them a moment to speak, to breathe, to connect, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. And everyone that is in your vibrational frequency is there for a reason and a purpose. Let's go ahead and let them be seen. Give them a smile. Allow them to speak. Don't just say, how are you? Genuinely say, how's the day going? Are you well? There's a lot of people who are, unwell, yet we're smiling like everything is okay. But, so that's my bit of advice for the week. It's what I'm going to be practicing. So 2 things. Number 1, don't get out of bed until you think about all the things you're grateful for. You have 2 feet. You're stepping on a ground that's not dirt. Maybe we have air conditioning, food. Set that alarm clock a little bit early. And number 2, make eye contact with everyone you meet. Pause, breathe, be silent, and listen. Practice listening. Because when Source is communicating to you through signs and symbols and messages and other people. And if we're too busy, which is where the chaos maker wants us to be too busy, we are unable to hear those messages. Remember, meditation is clear your mind. And I know that that's not necessarily easy. So I don't want to ask you to clear your mind. I want to ask you to allow those thoughts to flow through you like water, because our brain, for now, has been trained to think and think and think and think and analyze and analyze and analyze. If we're always thinking, we're always analyzing what comes next, what just happened, where am I going? And the messages are coming through. They can't get through all of the thinking. So allow those thoughts to become clear like water and remain present. If you want to master this earth and master this planet and figure out why you're here and what your purpose is, it exists out of time. All of the answers that you could ever want, anything that you could ever imagine to dream and manifest, happens out of time. In simple terms, let the past stay where it is. The future is yet to be discovered. And any moment that you're experiencing life on earth, it's right now. You can't experience tomorrow morning, right? You experience tomorrow morning right now. Tonight was tonight. You were like, oh, I'm going to go on the show tonight. Oh, I'm going to do all this tonight. Cool. That was in your mind. Those are just thoughts in your mind, imaginations and imagined scenarios. You're experiencing tonight right here and right now, tangible, what you can see, taste, listen to. So remember, in the present moment, let that past go, let that future go. Anything that you could ever want, desire, need, and manifest is right here, right now, in this moment with this choice. Each choice you make right now creates the next choice. Like when you're making Sudoku, you got to get the one number and then you got to get the next. You can't just see all the Sudoku all at once. You need one and then the other. Okay, there's my advice for today. So we have a pretty great guest with us today, and I'm so very thankful that she's here. Generally, I know we bring our guests on a little later, but, since Jax is busy, all right, late. Let's see who we have here. Hi, Evie. Hi, nice to see you. Welcome. All right, and let's see. Here we go. We have Sherry. Here we go. Kimberly Sherry, international frequency alchemist and author. And I'm super excited to have her on. I met her through a business that we're both working with. And we just went to San Diego and we got to know each other a little bit more. And I also consider myself a frequency alchemist. So we were vibrating on the same frequency. And she has some really interesting thoughts and ideas about. Well, I'll let her explain it to you. So I am going to, because I have this cool little intro video, I'm going to play that and then we're going to go ahead and bring her on. All right, let me see where I put that. All this fancy tech stuff. I love to be with you guys, but this tech stuff is a challenge for me, but I'm very grateful that I have a computer that allows me to be frustrated at my tech stuff. So, hey, let's be thankful for that. Okay, hello. We did it.
That was so fun. I don't think anybody's taken the time to do something so special. So thank you.
You're welcome. I will send that to you. It's not my best work, but there's this great little app that I have that allows me to make all these cute little videos in a reasonable time frame.
Cool.
Welcome, Kim. Is it Kim or Kimberly? What do you prefer?
Kimberly. I prefer Kimberly. Yeah.
Okay, Kimberly. Thank you. So I have one little exciting story is I was able to meet Kimberly's horse, which I felt a little in love with. How is your horse? And what is your horse's name? It's something very special.
Bodhi.
Yes.
Lightened.
He's the prettiest horse I've ever seen. Tell me.
He's very special. He's still very young. So he's only about 15, 16 months old. So he's in training. I won't be able to ride him for at least another year, maybe 2. So yeah, we're just getting to know each other.
Yeah, my sister, we ended up with a little horse named Nonami, which is interesting because my guide is Nonami. So she got the horse, I got the name. She's like, my horse is named Nonami. I'm like, stop. That's the name of my guide, which actually means no name. Because my guide is that which has no name. It prefers to be nameless, limitless, omnipotent, Nonami. So yeah. Kimberly's horse is like blue eyes, long blonde hair. It's just my kind of horse.
Yeah, he's a gypsy vanner. So it's the kind that has those kind of furry little boots. They're called feathers. Yeah, he's black and white and got the beautiful long mane, and he's gorgeous. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so Kimberly, tell me, my first question is, how did you come into knowing about these frequencies? And I know that's a big question and a long question, but when did you, usually someone has like this happened or?
Yeah, well, the actual way that I learned about frequencies is I was at some conference. I have no idea where it was by now. This was maybe back in 2010-ish. And someone calibrated me at being at, I guess it was 750 at the time. I didn't really know what that meant, but it was supposed to be almost to that enlightened range, according to the Hawkins scale. And so I went home and I started working with frequencies and read Hawkins' book and discovered that there was 2 things in there that he said that weren't true. So one was that you can't raise your frequency by more than a few points in a lifetime. So that's not true, because before I knew it, I was up to 1,000, and I certainly didn't feel enlightened. So because only people like Jesus and Buddha could be at this enlightened frequency. And so there I was, didn't feel enlightened. But at any rate, over the years, I worked with my energy work and also with plant medicine. I went to the jungles in Peru to work with the shamans and ayahuasca. And after about 25 ayahuasca journeys, I discovered that I had broken through his scale, which only went to 1,000. And so before I knew it, I was at 250,000 before I broke through to infinity. And so this is the scale that is outlined in my book, Access Your Ultimate Power, the Blueprint to Infinite Intelligence. It's behind me somewhere.
Where do I have one?
Okay. At any rate, so the whole system that's been given to me is outlined in there, the scale, etc. And so it is this scale that I use to measure and calibrate. So that's my gift, is being able to measure and calibrate anything and everything. And so one of the first things that I started to calibrate was the frequency of money. I grew up with Depression era parents. We grew up on welfare and government cheese and hand-me-down clothes and all that good stuff. So I, was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and definitely had a lot of energies to work through, and discovered, the law of attraction. The truth in that is that we attract the frequency that we're emitting. So little by little, my clients were making more money than I was. And probably my first and most favorite client was someone from Switzerland. We were doing all this remote work. She came to me with 3 clients, always struggling. She was a coach, and by her second year of working with me, I think she was making $3 million. So, in a nutshell.
So that's what really, you mentioned something. Somehow I was led, because I don't know how I was led, but source led me to one of your videos or one of your lives where you were speaking about the frequency of, I don't know if it was a debt ceiling or something, where people's frequency has either been pre-programmed or input into their system. And I don't know, like I'm a frequency alchemist as well. So what I am sensing is that this comes from parental lineage, from karma, from past lives, that there's some frequency that they're bringing with them or that they have with them. Or I'll let you answer this. My other potential theory is I know that we're in a grid. I have actually seen it in a plant medicine ceremony. I saw what looked like a grid. And then I was wondering, is there something else that could have programmed this grid? So these are my questions here. Is it something where something in our field? And the strange thing is, and then I'll let you talk, is I have never experienced this before until I started hitting the wall or something. I started hitting something. And then when I started hitting this something, all sorts of triggers started coming, like, I don't know if it was self-sabotage, but things started coming towards me. And I was like, I haven't experienced anything like this in a long time. It feels like a chaos maker is coming in the way and stopping me from getting to that level. And so, all right, that's what I got. What do you got?
Okay, so there's actually several layers there that you're talking about. So there's several reasons why people have a low money frequency. But the bottom line, if you were to say a bottom line, is because they have a low money frequency, that's all they're ever going to create or manifest. And there's many reasons why someone would have a low money frequency. So one, there's other people's beliefs and their energies that are, I call it being in your money pile. So in your money, you could have an old ex that still wants to see you fail. Maybe it's a very controlling husband. Maybe your children have their hands in your pockets. Maybe your boss is trying to control how much you make. So that's one layer of all the people and their frequencies that can be in your money pile, bringing the whole frequency down. And then there's also lots of things around, past lives of poverty and, other programming that we've experienced maybe in this lifetime about what money is, how you're supposed to spend it, how you're supposed to save it, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's another layer. But the third part that I think you originally started talking about was that there is I'm assuming that the people on your platform are quite aware of the dark energies on the planet. I refer to that as AI, but ancient interference. So this ancient interference is controlling humanity in ways you can't even imagine or even know. They're very big on putting energy cords. That's the most recent thing into people's roots. But they have set the quantum financial system, the entire frequency on the planet, at the frequency of about 500. So 250 is low on my scale. 500 on the Hawkins scale was the energy of love. On my scale, that's more like I like chocolate. And so at this 500 frequency of the whole quantum financial system being set there, what that translates into is you can make enough money, which is where the majority of people are, the majority can make enough money. Maybe it's just enough money, but they keep bumping up against that glass ceiling you were talking about. Like they can see that there's more available. They can feel it on the other side, but they can't quite get to it. And so that's because there's this financial cap on the quantum financial system. Now, I've tried to help open that up for the whole system, but it never stuck. It opens up for a little bit and then it closes back down. So I still working on the ultimate solution on how to clear that. But for the time being, I work with myself, my clients, teach them how to raise their money frequency.
Well, what I've found similar is we are a collective frequency. We are a collective species here. I have so many times put information out, not even realizing it was going out on a collective grid, and all of a sudden it's popping up everywhere. So what I feel is, if enough of us were aware of it and educated and making a conscious choice and a conscious decision to believe and have faith and know that there is a way to, what's the solution? How do we get through it? So my hypothesis, and you'll let me know, is, and I work a lot with what you said in the beginning, with people's belief systems coming from their exes and their neighbors and family members that may not be wishing the best for them. And then that vibration comes into our field. And that's why what I do as an energy healer is I try to educate people as to those vibrational streams so that they can release them. But that's mastery level. Takes a lot of practice to do that every day. And then the second one that you said, which was about past lives. So very little stories. I did a past life regression, and I saw myself on a very high, I was a man. I had a very slick black beard and black eyes and black hair and big nose, and I was nasty. And I saw myself on this big coach with these fine horses, and I was dressed very nice, and I was throwing a bit of money here or there to the peasants that I considered so beneath me. And I grew a sort of aversion towards money from that lifetime, because I had so much of it, and I was so icky at that point. And I'm like, okay, did I manifest money? Did I master it? Did I create a block there because I didn't love who that person was? And even now, I want to do everything for free. Like, now, having said that, I do have a lot of money that flows to me. Now, that's something I noticed as well. So even if I have $20, I'm giving that $20 to someone. I tend to do that because that money tends to flow. And I don't know if you know why, but there's a cycle. The money, as long as I give it, it just keeps coming. But the moment I kind of am like, my money, I'm not sharing it, it stops flowing. Right. And this is just what I felt as a frequency. I have nothing to study or read about it, but okay. We have to.
I was going to say that money's called a currency for a reason, because it's
current.
Yeah,
that's why tithing. That's why tithing actually works. It's not like the church is awful. I have experienced tithing and the truth of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're up for it, I don't know how much time you have. If you have other guests, I have no idea what's quite
going on. It's just my co-host.
Okay, cool. So maybe all the lucky people here would like to experience the process that I use to help people raise their money frequency.
Sign me up. I want to experience that.
Okay, good. Because overall, the people that are not only listening now, but even out into the future that will be listening to this as a recording, generally have a low money frequency. So let's raise it. Even if people are listening to this out into the future as a recording, the frequencies are like, there's no time to wait. Crazy. Okay. So
hear that train when it comes through? Is that
a train? Wow.
It's a train. I live by a train. It's very strange. I find it so comforting. I'm like, cool. It's a comfort for me to live by a train. It's very strange. But then I figured out, by the way, just to go off topic, I went and visited a place that I used to visit as a child, and I had lost my memories there. And I went to visit this year, and there was a train. I heard a train, and I have this comfort. And I was always like, why do I feel this comfort when it comes to trains? And I figured it out. Anyway, okay, yes, I want to hear about your frequency. I want to do all of this. I think I need it because I have never experienced hitting a wall before until now. And I've made money in my other business, no problems. But for some reason in my metaphysical and in my spiritual, there's a part of me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a part of me, I don't know if it's blocked or if I don't feel like this. And money is so abundant. It's everywhere.
It is. It is. However, if our money frequency is low, that's all we're going to attract. And it may have been high at another time, but right now, so this is what we're working with right now, is raising the frequency right now. So if you want to all imagine, it seems like everybody on the call is grounded. So that's great, because you've got high frequency people here. So we're going to start with imagining a huge pile of money sitting out in front of us. And you can make it as big as you want. You could make it as big as a pyramid, or, however big you want to make it. It's your money pile. And in this money pile could be gold or silver or foreign currency or digital currency or real estate, or whatever represents your idea of money, abundance, wealth, prosperity, etc. And you're going to attach a grounding cord to the bottom of this pile. And so this is separate from your grounding cord. Money pile out in front of you. Put a grounding cord on this money pile. And we're going to start draining out the energies that are bringing your money frequency down. Okay, good. So you have a nice, good grounding cord on the money pile. So I'm going to start listing some things, and we'll see what's potentially in your money piles. So first, we always start with mothers and fathers. So mom, no mom energy. Usually that's a martyr energy, but dads, yes. Okay, so drain your father's beliefs out of your money pile. Very hardworking dads that have that belief that, well, yeah, you do have to work hard for your money. Like that's a belief that most people believe. It's one way of making money, but it's not necessarily the only way. And we're also not talking about sitting under a money tree and just meditating and watching money fall on our head either. There's a space in between those two. So anyway, draining dad's energy out of your money pile, great. And then partners, yes. So some of you have partners that have low money frequency. So drain them out of your money pile and just watch all those energies go down the grounding cord. How about exes? No exes, good. How about children? Nope. How about bosses? Yes. Okay, so some of you have bosses that are keeping you at a certain frequency, so they don't have to pay you very much. So drain them down your money pile. And then you probably also feel underappreciated by them. So send all that down your grounding. Excellent. And then any well-meaning friends or family. Anybody you owe money to or that owes you money? Nope, nope, nope. Okay, let's see if there's anybody that we have forgotten. Okay, so that's that. So next, we're going to drain out this 1% energy. Those are the energies that own all the money on the planet, that are controlling, pulling all the levers and strings, etc. Drain them out of your money pile. So that actually feels pretty big. So just keep draining that down your grounding cord. There's also some curses in your money pile. About 50 curses. This is from this AI energy. So this is not usually something that I find, but it's here. So imagine any curses. You might imagine them as black specks or blobs or whatever helps you to imagine those curses just draining down the grounding cord. Okay, good. So now your money pile, which was at 250, is now at infinity. Yay. So that's where we want our money pile to be and stay. So now what you're going to do is now you're going to align your energy to this high money frequency. So imagine this liquid gold stream of energy coming out of the money pile, and it's going to come into our field, but above our head, there are stacked creative rings. Ideally, you will have 100 at least, and then it goes off into infinity. However many you have, let's see. Okay, good. So the majority of you, at least here, have about 100 rings. So that's great. You guys are master manifestors. However, we can manifest in both directions, just so you know. So let's bring this high money frequency into the creative ring, starting, around the 100th ring, which is where it's stopping. It's blocked up there by about 20 of those AI chords right at the top of your stack of rings. They're like big gold wedding bands that are stacked on top of each other, hovering above your head with space in between. And so we're going to clear these 5, 10, 20 AI rings at the top there. This about at the 100th ring. So just using your imagination. So I'm not doing the work. I like to watch you guys do the work. I don't like people to become dependent on me. I'm here to teach you. Okay, good. So keep dissolving, transforming, eliminating cords. Now, so here's the thing about cords. Never cut cords because that leaves the roots behind. We want to pull them out, cords and all, or dissolve them, cords and all, however you want to do it. Okay, so now the money is starting to come down through your rings very slowly. So they're still kind of stuck towards the top. And so what's going to happen is in your creative rings is where you place all of your dreams, your desires, your goals, your intentions for your wealth, prosperity, money, what you want to do with your money, how you want to make your money. And okay, so there's still more interference right at the top. So just a few rings down from the top, there's more chords, another 20. So use your imagination, your free imagination to dissolve, transmute these chords. If you're familiar with your oversoul, you can use your white plasma energy from your oversoul to clear these curses and cords. Okay, great. So now the money is starting to come down through the rings. There it goes. Now, as it's coming down into the rings, it's recalibrating your dreams and desires for your money so that they're in your highest and best interests. Okay, great. So now the money is stopping right at your crown, where there are more curses, another 20. So use your oversoul energy, that white plasma, to just dissolve those curses at your crown. These curses don't allow you to be sovereign over your money, for you to be the boss of you, for you to be the boss of your money. Okay, good. And so as we're coming in and bringing that money frequency down through your rings into the crown, and now it's going to go down through the central core, and now it's going to align with each of your chakras so that your chakras can also help you manifest more money. So as it's coming into 7, 6, 5, 4, let this high money frequency stir at your heart chakra so that you clear all the coulda, woulda, shouldas, all the ways that you're making yourself wrong, wishing you had done that certain thing, or maybe made that certain investment, or not lent that person money, or not spent it on X, Y, and Z, whatever the thing is. Let go of all of those judgments in your heart. And also any bad feelings or animosity or jealousy or like ew kind of feelings that you have towards people that might have money. Then, because otherwise you won't ever become wealthy or have more money, because you resent those people, right? So you don't want to be that person. So that's going to block your ability to manifest and fall in love with money, because money, it should be your friend and something you love co-creating with. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. If you want more money, this is how I see it. All right, great. So now the money's coming down through the heart into that solar plexus. And so now it's clearing out all the effort, all of that hard work. If you're someone who feels like they have to work really hard for money, so that's a belief and that's a program. Allow this high frequency of money to dissolve what's going on there. Okay, good. So it's coming down through the solar plexus, second chakra, spilling down the root. Great. So now let's bring that money frequency up the front so it gets all of the chakras on the way up. 1, 2, 3. Let's clear some more of the anger that's in the solar plexus that's driving maybe your money. That's not very fun to be angry with this energy that should be your friend or could be your friend and you could co-create with, instead of being pissed at it that it's off taking a exit stage left. Where are you when I need you? All right, great. So as we're bringing this money frequency up through the solar plexus and into the heart, throat, let's let the money stir at the throat. So these are all the ways that maybe you have a hard time asking for what you need, telling people how much you charge, talking about how you make your money. Okay, good. There we go. And coming up through that 6 crown rings, and then let the money, this golden energy, fountain down through all the layers of your aura. Pay special attention to the 3rd layer, so you're clearing out more of the effort, pushing, forcing, chasing, so that you activate more of your feminine magnet, so that the money, the opportunities, the rich resources can come to you. You don't have to chase after anything. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's also clear the 5th layer. So allow that money frequency to fountain down through the 5th layer of your aura. This is also connected to your 5th chakra, your throat. So you can have easy conversations about money. Okay. There we go. So now the money is flowing through your entire aura. And then we're going to do one last part right here. We're going to bring the money back to the heart chakra. So you connect your passion to what you're passionate about to your money. And then we're going to bring that money frequency out the right arm as you give out into the world, out into the economy. And then if you put your fingertips together, you allow that money frequency to be received. So a lot of you are doing the hard work, you're doing all the things, but a left hand's blocked. There's nowhere for it to come in energetically. So there's about 20 curses at that left hand. So use your imagination to dissolve those curses. Okay, great. And then now it's coming through the front and back of the heart. Okay, so it's starting, the money is starting here at the heart, out the right arm, in the left. So giving and receiving through the heart, simultaneously through the throat. So you can ask for what you need. Simultaneously through that 6th chakra, out the right arm, in the left. And then also through the crown, out the right arm, in the left, through the crown chakra, so that you give yourself permission to have, be, and do with money as you choose. And there you go. Ta-da! Now you can start manifesting from a whole new frequency.
That was amazing. I am so glad that was recorded.
Yes.
I'm going to play that on repeat every day.
Yes, as you should, as you could.
You know what I want? And anyone who's listening, I recommend you do the same.
Yes.
And here's something I want you guys to keep in mind. Frequency starts with your thoughts and with your intentions. So how, you know, Kimberly was saying, imagine this and imagine that. That is your intention inside of your thoughts and inside of your brain and your mind to remove the money that's blocking you, then your intention programs the frequency. And then the frequency and the intention align. And this is where manifestation comes into play. Just what Kimberly was saying, if you have in your mind, which my father has the money thing, you have to save it. You have to save it. We have to save every dollar. We can't let anything, and he gives here or there. And then my mother also came from a place of lack. She saved every little dollar, every dollar. And, and I've seen what that kind of block does. And I love how you said, allow the money to attach to your passion and how you want to, live this mission and message and movement and passion. And remember, allow money. I love this part. In fact, I'm really going to practice this. Allow money to become your friend.
Yeah.
How have I not? What if I've done that? I'm going to carry around money and be like, you're my best friend. Come on. And I do leave money in everywhere in my house, so that in my frequency, I always have money. I'm never without money. Money is always there for me. I have change here, dollars here. There's pretty much dollars in every part of my house, because to me, it's because I always have money around, flowing freely. Anyway, that was fantastic. I really am going to listen to that. And for those of you, rewind this, save this, and see. I'd love to hear if you really put forth the effort and believe that this is possible. So it really starts with you believing that this is possible. That's the first thing. We can hear Kimberly all we want, but if we do not believe this is possible, well, guess what? That is your intention. And the universe will always give you what you believe and what you want and what you trust. So if you don't think that this is possible, then the universe, it's not. We have to shift your frequency.
Well, here's another thing too, is that, in the next few days, I've had people, I've done this with someone, and, by the time we're done, their jaws to the ground, and, they're looking on their phone, and they had, 2 quarters or their last 2 nickels to rub together. They had no money, and someone just deposited $50 in their bank account. And that same person, within next couple days, he had been working on a contract for, 3 or 4 months, and because he was basically unemployed. And that contract, which was worth over $100,000, came in. I could tell you stories like that all day long, but pay attention to what happens in, say, the next 3 days. And if you're listening to this every day and really focusing on keeping that frequency high, notice what starts to show up, whether it's money that you find on the ground. Maybe you find a $20 in your pocket you haven't used in a long time, in a jacket pocket, or maybe somebody invites you out to lunch, or you need to buy that thing that just broke and it's on sale 50% off. All the ways that money will show up. You pull up at the parking meter and it's got an hour of parking in it. It shows gratitude to the universe for what's showing up, even if it seems little, because then you're telling the universe what you want more of. And that's also really important.
Yes. And I love that. I have a very short story. I'm not sure if I shared it with you. I may have, but my trip to San Diego started with them offering me $800 to take a couple hour flight later, which $800, that's a lot of money. So I was like, absolutely, I happen to be a day early, so I can take that. And then I was like, well, now I'm, here at the airport, what am I going to do for 4 hours? A gentleman walked right up to me and said, I can help you get into the VIP lounge, which again, that's cost a lot of money. They wouldn't let me in. And then you have all the food you want, all the drinks you want, everything you want. And I was like, universe, I know this is you. Thank you so much. And then I left the lounge and I went to my flight, and they said, because you did that, we're going to give you first class seats with all the drinks and food that you want. I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I arrived in San Diego at the car place, and the car place was like, oh, here, we upgraded you. You can pick any beautiful BMW that you wish to ride. I was like, oh, you are spoiling me right now, universe. And I know that was the universe letting me know, because I'm going to San Diego. I'm walking my path. I'm doing the work, the harder work to accomplish my mission and my purpose and get my movement out, which is what the universe is asking of me. But I was grateful every step of the way. And I really do tell myself, like you said, I know that the universe is supporting me and providing for me and is always taking care of me. And anything that I need is always there for me. So that's my frequency. Something that I want to ask is, this extends past just money. Because, for example, if someone wants to make any kind of goal or change in their life, whether this be changing careers or, you know, getting in shape or having a goal, losing weight, or, you know, creating that college, everything is frequency, right? It isn't just money. It's anything that you want to accomplish.
Right. You know, in the last 2 chapters in my book, I explain how you can apply that system that's in the book, the infinity system, to exactly what you're talking about by creating what I call an avatar, which is just the image of a person. I use a very neutral image of just a body anatomy and no hair, you know, just muscles. And that avatar then represents whatever the thing is that we want or we're desiring to create. And so people use these avatars if they're selling their home. Maybe they have to have surgery. Maybe they're going on their first date. Maybe they have to buy a car. Whatever the thing is, the avatar then becomes the thing that they want to create. They put the intentions or the outcome of what they want in the rings, and then they run the energy through the avatar like we do for ourselves. So making sure it's grounded. There's 3 parts to the whole system. But by doing that, you can find what's blocking this thing that you want to create. Maybe it just needs a grounding cord. Maybe it's just not grounded. It's kind of this floaty idea out there, but it's not really solidly anchored to the ground. So it's a very powerful technique that is super helpful.
So you know how you said that there was a grounding cord around the money and we were downloading the frequency that we didn't want, such as some of the stuff from our past lives, our exes, our fathers, our mothers. Is that active, meaning that as these things bubble up to the surface, now that we're aware of paying attention to how our money mindset is, or our discipline, or our goals, some of our mindset, can we download it into that cord frequently? How does that work?
Well, cord is more for
people put their stuff when they want to get.
Yeah. So the piece, you know, the piece that we didn't do, which is, I'll put a link in here. That's a free 20-minute meditation. And this is how you use the process for your personal self, and giving yourself a grounding cord, making sure your energy field is running smoothly. There's a very specific way to run energy through your field so that, you know, this is how our energy anatomy works. A lot of people are completely unaware of this invisible part of themselves because they can't see it. And they've not been taught that we have even an invisible energy anatomy. So in this book, it explains the whole thing. And I'll put the link in here for you guys to have this free meditation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then you can just practice that. Here it is. Okay. Yeah. If you subscribe, you can listen to it on your phone by subscribing to Apple Podcast, and then just follow the prompts. But there's an 8-minute version and a 20-minute version.
Awesome. So if people wanted to get your book, reach out to you, what do you offer to people? What does that look like?
I'll put it up my website, which is also a really easy way to see everything that I'm about. And it's also a good place where you can access the 20-minute meditation there. So it's just my name, .com.
I have it at the bottom, right? KimberlySherry.com. And then I have your link tree, and I
Okay,
have
good.
KimberlySherry.com, and that's your.
Perfect. Sorry. Okay, good. That's very good. Yeah. So those are the places where you can go. If people are seriously considering working with me, there's a free hour where we could discuss what it is you need help with and how I can help you. But if you want some free resources, there's the 20-minute meditation there. That's free. I'm also live every Wednesday night on YouTube for an hour to answer questions. And I usually talk about a different subject. So lucky for you guys here, I don't usually do clearings on my YouTube live. So I usually save that for a private client. So you guys got a very special.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting off. Let me just let Sherry. I'm going to be quiet. Let Sherry do her thing. I'm meditating through this. Awesome. Thank you. That really was so valuable. And everything you said made so much sense. In fact, everything you said, I could feel. I could actually feel everything you said because I'm very sensitive to frequency.
Right.
So, but if we don't know it's there, we don't know. We just continue to live our daily life and go to work every day. We come home, eat the same foods, drink the same foods, watch the same TVs. We've completely disconnected from our frequency, and frequency is freedom. In all ways of your life, from relationship health to mind, body, spirit health, body health, mental health, spirit health, manifesting. You can manifest anything. I didn't realize I was manifesting from a very young age. I remember being in high school saying, I'm going to drive a BMW. And I was raised in a very poor household as well. So, I mean, how was I going to get a BMW? By 25, I had the exact car I wanted, BMW. And then from there, I was like, I want to have a business and be independent. And I opened a dance school. And now this is my latest. And then I wanted to be really financially independent, meaning that I didn't need anyone. I accomplished that. I've accomplished, but it's about manifesting and believing and knowing that it's possible. And it's a frequency. It's a frequency. And guys, if you really, I promise you, if you start studying this, talk to Kimberly if you need to, schedule that hour. I love that I found her on YouTube after our personal meeting, but even before I met her, I had found you on YouTube and I was like, this is amazing. So when we met in person, I was like, come on my show, please.
I so appreciate it. Thank you for sharing me with all your people.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, we are wrapping up. We have a few minutes left. So thank you, Kimberly.
Have any questions? I'm wondering if you see some comments in the chat. I'm wondering if anybody has any questions that they might be wondering about.
See, we'll go on. Generally, a lot of the information starts coming through when this goes live. It stays. So some of the questions will start coming through after the show and after and make sure too that maybe you can post this on some of your social media. That way we connect with everyone who's there and people can plug into all of us. Now, I do have a question because I know a couple of these people and I'm almost afraid to ask, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Okay.
What are your views on gambling?
Well, for most people, it can be a dangerous addiction. I think there's no harm in doing it as a game, as a fun game. If you have a certain limit, like I'm just going to set aside this $100, and when that's gone, then I'm done. But for those who it can become a very strong addiction, it's just basically how they're distracting themselves from what's going on in their life. And they often have this saboteur. They have generally a low money frequency, so that, if they get too much money, this is their way of unloading it. So like people, I'm not saying that this is you, but a lot of people, when they get more money, they have to give it away because it's like, they don't feel comfortable having money, or even circulating it in a bigger way, or saving it for a specific thing or outcome. So that's their way of sort of letting their saboteur take over and dispel the money. So that's
Okay,
another.
so I mean, everything you said is what I felt. I have a friend
Yeah.
who, I mean, it's, they love gambling. And some of the people in here I know, because we all know each other, they've come on my show. So I wanted to mention it. And it's interesting because I haven't had much exposure to it, but due to this person being my friend, I've been able to observe it. And what's interesting is the few times that I've put some money in there, I have felt vibrationally, I heard, put money in here and hit these three buttons. And I did, and money will pop out. Now, I've probably only done that, I don't know, 10 times in my life.
Yeah.
Just because, and then I stop, I'll take, and I'm thankful. I'm going to go buy a cute shirt with this or something. But like what you said, I look around and it's what you said. It's like somehow there's something there. They get it, but they have to put it back. They have to put it back. They have to put it back.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting what you said. I just wanted to check because it's an interesting, and I know that Source is like wants me to see all of the frequencies, and I've had Source show me all the frequencies that are around because I believe it wants me to identify them and recognize them to understand when they're flowing around me, when they're in my energy, or just how it's affecting our species, really, to have some of that frequency around us. So anyway, that was my own little question there. Thank you.
I've always wished, and I know people have asked me, like, well, why don't you use this frequency stuff and to check the numbers and calibrate, like what's a winning number or how. I've never been successful at it. I don't think Spirit wants me to go down that rabbit hole. So
I agree. I've asked the same. I'm like, listen, how great would it be? Like, I will buy 10 tickets, pick the winning one. But I think I've heard from Source, there's something about money, getting money without like fee is called fair energy exchange. So there's something about getting money without the exchange. There's something there. And I don't know if that's a currency thing, meaning that you're just hacking the currency and then pulling it out. And I've asked too, because I'm like, we could do with money like that. We could do so much help. But the universe is like, this isn't how we want you to get that money. I've been told that very clearly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's not how it's supposed to work.
Not how it's supposed to work.
Because if I use this gift for that, then it would change the whole dynamics of money, and then it wouldn't be as real, because what I've done and am able to do by keeping my money frequency high, and now I never have to worry about money. And it's not that I'm a millionaire or anything. I just I never worry about money. I just spent a month in South Africa for my 70th birthday, and I don't worry about money now. However, if I had just been given shitloads of money, it just would change the whole frequency for me. I like being able to help people the way I do, and that reciprocal energy as a result. Yeah.
It's interesting that you said that. I want to say maybe 10 years ago, I was not in this place now. And I was like, this money and that money, I have to get this money and I'm worried about money. And finally, after the universe was very clearly already speaking to me and I was aware that I had that communication, I said, listen, you deal with the money, you deal with the finances. I'm done worrying about this. This is not how I'm spending my time on earth. So that's it. If you want to put me on the street corner, I will sit right on that street corner in a tent. If that's where the universe wants me. And at that moment, I have never had to worry about where money came from again. Mm-hmm. And I, like you said, I'm not rich. It's not that I have millions of dollars, but I also don't worry about where it comes from. Somehow I'm in the currency. And I just don't worry about it. Like there's a couple glitches where I'm like, and then I'm reminded, don't do that. Don't get that frequency. And I'm like, okay. I trust you. And it's never let me down in 10 years. Never. In 10 years.
It has been a journey for me as well. I mean, there was a time when I was went through bankruptcy, was living on the side of the road in my motorhome, and I've gone to the bottom of the barrel and lived out of my car and all of those kinds of things. But for me, it's been a gradual metamorphosis of just feeling more and more comfortable with these higher frequencies and these lower vibrating things that I keep releasing. Like there's just always more and more and more layers. At least this is the way I've done it. So I think it speaks to more people than like, I don't know about you, but I don't relate to these people that, and I'm not saying it's not possible or that they're not doing it, but I don't think a lot of people relate to these young people that are just getting online and making millions of dollars by just doing this and this and this, and now they're making millions. And like, I have a hard time relating to that, but I'm not saying it's not possible.
Yeah, we live in an interesting time and an interesting shift. And I keep feeling, I've been told this many times, that the way that the financial institution has been built is destabilizing and shifting and changing and restructuring. And the reason why we are all struggling a bit right now is like, we have to break it down in order to rebuild it. And we may be dealing with some more difficult economic times, but I keep hearing that this is for the greater good. And the results that I've seen from a metaphysical, spiritual, universal God place is I have seen families moving in together. I've seen distant families in 3 locations going, hey, do you just want to get a house together and share bills? I've seen families saying to their 18, 19, 20, 26-year-olds, come home, let's have a room and let's figure out how to do this together. And I'm like, is this really bad? I don't know. I'm seeing families going, let's put an RV here and an RV there and a tiny house there. Dad's got a tiny house in the back. And I'm like, now we're growing our own food. We're living off grid. We're figuring out how I can grow tomatoes and you can grow potatoes. Like, this is fantastic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The whole structure of the financial system is changing. I personally believe that Nasara is, I don't remember what the acronym for that is, but it's basically an evening out of the playing field. And all the monies that have been robbed from humanity for eons is going to start being given back to the people, because we've been taken advantage of for far too long with all of these illegal systems. And it's being corrected, maybe slowly, maybe not fast enough, but yeah. So anyway,
well, it even channeled to me that, and I didn't realize it, and I'm almost disappointed in myself at the time for believing it, but that's okay. I was in a different frequency. Is them telling you that you have to have your children move out at 18. They're adults at 18. They need to go to college. Then they need to get an apartment. They need to have their own house. And if that doesn't happen, then your child's considered a sort of failure to society in a way. Oh, your kid's still living at home. Oh, they didn't go to, so sorry to hear that. And for a while, I believed that. Like at 18, you have to get, you have to have a house. You have to figure it out. And then obviously it turned into 21, 22, 23. They obviously need support. But I realized none of that is true. That is because the moment that child goes out and gets a job, they're paying into the system. They get a car, they're paying into the system. They're paying into the grocery system. Now they have to pay taxes. Now they're paying money for their school. They're counting, they put it in our heads to get that kid out so that child can now pay into the system, and they can kind of put a price tag on that child's head. And it came to me very clearly. And I was like, oh my goodness, and now we got dads living by themselves, grandmas by themselves. Grandmas are struggling. Grandpas are struggling. Families are struggling because we don't have grandma and grandpa at home. The children are struggling. They can't afford rent, first class and security and cars. So everyone's struggling because everyone is taught by some sort of society frequency from the chaos maker to separate because we are weak or separated.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think it's right now. Yeah, I think it's coming back. We are, the universe is correcting itself.
Yes.
Frequency is raising. People are feeling it. I already spoke to my sister, my son, my father, his partner. I was like, are we getting a land together? What do we get? A house? We can put a tiny house here, tiny house here, tiny house here. I spoke to another friend. She's like, let's put an RV on my property. And I'm like, So I don't know. It's exciting. I mean, I think we're going to have a tough kind of shift because we're also.
Because things have to, as you mentioned before, things have to fall away and crumble. The systems that are broken, whether it's the financial system, the medical system, the religious systems, even the family systems, the way things have been going, the way they've been set up, it's just not working. So those systems have to crumble, fall away. And what's happening is simultaneously people are really rebuilding what's working. And so that's what's exciting, and where we should put our focus if that's what we want for the future.
Okay. And then I believe Evie says, Kimberly, what kind of advice do you have that's separate from money that I can apply to my life? Some sort of, yeah.
Yeah. So, Evie, thank you for asking. If you don't mind my saying so, I will say that it looks like you could use a grounding cord. So there's no place for all the energy that's accumulating in your field. There's no place for it to go. So you likely have a lot of anxiety and uncomfortable feelings, and then you may not even be aware of all the energies you're holding in your field, because there are you're only in your body like 3%, so you're not at home all the way to know what's going on. So my advice or suggestion for you is listen to the free meditation so you can get grounded. It's like having a house with no plumbing. So get your plumbing pipe on. So all the garbage that's in your field that's not yours, it's making you feel anxious and frustrated and annoyed and irritated, those are not your energies, but then you'll give it a place to go. And so one of the dangers of not being in our body and all these other energies that are not there are usually it's this ancient interference energy I talked about earlier that's creating a lot of fear or fury in our field. And fury creates a lot of inflammation. And so that affects our physiology. So this is one of the ways that this infinity system can be used, is for our physical health and wellness. So that's sort of my next iteration of the book. It started off as the money frequency thing, raising your money frequency, but now we've shifted over to how it can help our physiology, raising the frequency in all the cells in our body. In fact, right now I'm bringing a group through a program for 12 days where every day we're raising a different body system. There's our nervous system, our circulatory system, our elimination system, our endocrine system. All of these systems can be raised to a higher frequency and brought to a higher millivolts of light. So that's a cellular light. The more light our cells hold, that means more information on how the body should function. So that's a really important aspect on how we can live a long, healthy, vibrant life naturally, which is what I'm all about now.
I love that. It's so cool how we talk the same language. I love hearing that. And I talk a lot about when people's energy is outside of their bodies, and what you said, like no one's home. And just as an example as to how or what that means that probably potentially as a people pleaser is a sign and symptom of that. But you always are thinking about everyone else first and trying to help everyone else first. And what does my job need? What do my kids need? What does my partner need? What does my house need? What do my neighbors need? What does my mother? And it's just, we're always so concerned with everyone else. And like what Kimberly said, that actually puts all of your attention and focus and frequency outside of your body. And when that happens, and I believe you said, then there's no one home in here. And that's when other frequencies can come in, which then can affect unease and dis-ease in the body, which is when we are not grounded and inhabiting our body, which takes practice, because we were taught we weren't taught this. Lots of
Right.
things can happen. So I teach
Yeah.
people also how to figure out how to, which I love what you said, don't cut the cords. I really liked that. I'm going to unplug the cord or root it.
Yeah.
Pull it.
Roots and all, pull it all out. Because it's just like cutting a tree down, you know. If you cut the tree down, well, the tree's gone now, but look what's underneath the ground. It's still all there, and it'll just grow back again.
And it does. And you're right. And I love that. So in my brain now, I'm gonna unplug those roots. So I love that. So guys, make sure your energy's back in your body. Monitor your thoughts and mind. Monitor your frequency. Frequency is everything. So even if you're kind of a novice to frequency, I do recommend you plug in, check it out, get the book, study up on YouTube, because anything that you want in your life is possible with the healthiest frequency for your vibrational field.
Yeah.
To make sure that your soul is in alignment with its purpose, whatever that may be.
Yep.
You just want to ensure your soul isn't out of alignment. And there isn't an exact answer to that. It could be just loving trees and plants. It could be gardening. It could be, but we want to make sure that we're doing what our soul feels healthiest, so that light energy, I believe, like you said, even elevating everything that's inside of you, that light energy is coming in, because that's where all the healing is coming from.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
All right. Awesome. Kimberly, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I think we could talk about this for like 12 hours. We could have a marathon. Start from the beginning. Okay, I love it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, look, I have a super cool video that I'm also going to play. And then, guys, keep in touch with Kimberly. Hopefully, we'll have her on again for sure. Kimberly, I have one other cute little video that I made. Let me find it. Here it is. Thank you again. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, awesome. That was it. That was amazing. I know some of you are a little novice to this, but that was very, very valuable information. Oh, look, and Evie says, just so you know, Kimberly, Evie says, thank you, Kimberly. And Jax explained to me where is Jax? Jax is trying to get on. Her computer link is not working, so she's not able to get on, and I'm not able to send it to her very easily. I don't know how to get it to her. So that's okay. But that was our show for today. Thank you so much for joining in. I love you. Remember, frequency is everything. Smile at your neighbors and remember what you're grateful for. And being grateful for everything that you have right now, that's a frequency. And the universe, when you're just very grateful for, even if you have a quarter, even if you have a pillow and maybe it needs to be replaced, or a comforter, maybe you could use a new one, but you're so very grateful for what you have, the universe aligns to that frequency of gratitude and gives you so many things that you want to be grateful for. The universe really is supporting you in that way. We are energetic beings. Physics has proven this. This is energy. This is energy. This is energy. We are all energy, and that can be programmed. Just study physics for a little while. That's why we talk all metaphysics here. Anyway, guys, love you from wherever you're at. Have a fantastic week. Remember, next week I am in Mexico building houses for charity, and I'm so excited. In Mexico, they have these houses that are $6,000 a house, and we're building houses for like 22 families. So we're really excited about that. So anyway, thank you so much. I may or may not be tuning in on Monday. I believe Jax will be tuning in on Monday. I believe she has a guest coming on. So just keep your brain on that. And then I will 100% see you the Monday after. And I believe we have a guest, if I'm not mistaken, Mary the Medium. So keep that in mind, guys. In 2 weeks, we have Mary the Medium coming on, and we're going to have a whole show on mediumship, which is going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see you then as well. I am going to play our final goodbye Mwah. See you next week. Love you guys. Bye. Here we go.
Live every Monday at 8 p.m. Spiritual Coach Kristen and Coach Jocks. We are a global spiritual training academy, here to teach you nothing, because the truth is, you already know. Our role? To help you remember your mission, your message, and the movement you were born to lead. Expand consciously, live authentically, discover your truth, enhance your gifts, master your superpowers. We are light workers and bridge builders, united as a species of Earth, and together we are stronger. Together we are one tribe.